So that should be working in a second, and then I'm gonna go with my phone.
So what are we talking about?
Um, just an organic conversation. See where the conversation takes us, and then and yeah, that's pretty much it. We can talk about. I have some questions I want to ask you just about the store. You know what you do and everything like that.
Okay. And how long do you think we should?
30 minutes.
Okay. And then we'll edit and
Um, I typically don't edit them. Um, just because it's a natural conversation. But we can edit it. There'll be a
I think
video.
30 minutes isn't it too much?
No. But there isn't much to edit because we're just talking, really, right?
Okay.
So editing would be like putting like name under like
Okay.
unless you have any other ideas. Okay, cool. I'm gonna put this one here. All right, so you were asking me about tagging the art.
Sorry?
You were asking me about tagging the art.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm open to trying something new. I've never put the price of the
You're not
art.
recording this.
Yeah,
Oh, is it? Okay.
we're going. I've
Let
never
me
really.
just finish this 1 second.
Yeah, of course. Take it.
Sorry, can you just rewind it or?
No, it's fine. It's
Okay.
totally great. Totally okay.
Sorry, is this the customer?
So for the art, I'm like I said, I'm open to trying something new. I've never really put the price of the art like on a tag. I typically put like the dimensions, the title, like stuff
Are you
about the
giving
art.
any names to the
what?
pieces?
Yeah,
Are
they
you
all
giving-
have names. They all have names. I haven't named them yet.
Okay.
But typically, I give it some sort of name. If I can come up with the name, I'll just call it what it is.
Okay. Because in my opinion, we should keep a name. We should somehow keep a price on it so people know what it is.
Yeah.
Because maybe your customers are used to not seeing the prices. People coming in or walk-ins, who knows what we have. Maybe they want to know the price, and sometimes I've seen that people get shied away to ask the price.
Sure. Yeah.
So, not that we are just trying to make money here or just sell or do. That's not our motive. It's just to present art in different forms.
Sure.
But still, is my thoughts. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. No,
And,
I don't think you are. I think it's just it's just another way of doing it, which I'm totally open to explore. I think it would be, see what happens.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I do print these tags like this, and they are like it's like a shipping label essentially. I have a machine, a little printer like this that prints shipping labels, and the shipping label is a sticky, so it's very easy to like put it, and then when you take it off, it doesn't have anything on the back. It's very easy to work with.
More than printing, don't you think I should handwrite it?
Sure.
It looks very natural. I
You
think.
think so?
I think it will give a character compared to printing.
Interesting. I never thought of that because I mean my handwriting is.
Yeah, you just put like a card.
Atrocious.
How you tuck in a card here in the frame. You know better how to do it, but I'm just saying, if we have Ryan has a good handwriting, and we could use his handwriting, or we can use Ednis's handwriting. We have other people who could.
That's cool.
We can create a card and just put a card there in the frame, tuck it in a little bit so people know what it is.
Okay.
I think it will give a character by itself rather than just plain printed,
Yeah.
So,
Totally. Okay. Cool. Okay, so I have some questions for you.
Go ahead.
I want to know. I want to know a whole bunch of stuff, but let's start like, where are you from and what's your work?
I'm originally from Indian origin, from Bombay. My family has been in the business for almost 6 generations.
Whoa.
I have been in business for the last 40 years. First back home in India, then I have my own office and company in Antwerp, Belgium, which is the diamond capital of the world. And then in 1992, we started the operation here in Boca.
Wait, why is Belgium the diamond capital of the world?
Because what happens is all the rough mining countries, they have limitations to whom they can sell, how they can sell. So what they do is they bring everything into Belgium, and then it gets sorted, and all different aspects of rough diamond comes into picture. The industrial grade, the very, very high grade, the regular grade, and all those things get sorted, and then they are sold. Besides, every month there's a site from DTC that comes into Belgium. Now other countries have also started taking that kind of a routine of having sites. So buyers from all diamond cutters, they come from all around the world to Belgium in that particular week. So they have access to this, and they have access to every possible kind of rough diamond. Sometimes there are auctions that goes on for certain lots. The diamond trade has evolved completely. So, but to be in the trade and to have the best of the rough diamond world, we need to have an office in Belgium.
Yeah.
So you're not reluctant, or you're not, I would say, dependent on somebody.
I see.
You have your own, I would say, suppliers, or own access to own mining, where you can buy directly from the mining companies.
I see. So it's basically just so naturally happened that everybody
In that particular week
is there. Okay.
And initially, when the Belgian government was giving a lot of, I would say, benefits, tax benefits to have a diamond.
Makes sense.
But now things have changed. Dubai is coming into the picture again, and now the market kind of is shifting towards Dubai. There are two reasons for it. One is that India was very close to Dubai, and 90% of the diamond in the world today is cut in India.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So because of that, people from flying from India to Dubai is less than 2 hours. So people can go in the morning and come back. Plus, again, because Belgium came into the European community, so everything has become very tight over there. So all those benefits that Belgian government was giving to diamond dealers have been evaporating drastically.
I see.
So because of that, Dubai is coming into the picture now.
So how did you end up in Boca after Belgium?
Boca, we have another part of the business, which is industrial diamond.
And what's that?
The industrial diamond is a necessity diamond compared to luxury diamond. Necessity, anything you see here requires diamond in some form.
Like to cut, like
to polish, to grind, to manufacture, anything. Anything you see will require diamond in some form in the manufacturing process.
So like an industrial diamond, I'm gonna take a guess, like an industrial diamond, the difference between an industrial and a luxury diamond is probably like the clarity, maybe?
Clarity and the color. Which is, so coming to industrial diamonds, we wanted to develop the market in Latin America when I entered business back in 1992.
Okay.
So we had, in our blood we had the diamonds, but it was only for jewelry. But this was completely a new aspect at that time. So we wanted to develop the market, Mexico down to Chile, Peru, down all of Latin America, which we did over the years. And Miami is the gateway to Latin America, as you know.
Yeah.
So we wanted to stay close to Miami, but at the same time, not in Miami.
How come?
So it's just too much noise and traffic, and it's like a metropolitan city.
Yeah.
Boca has its own character.
Yeah, it does.
And that's how we thought this is a place to live, and then.
Yeah, Boca has its own like little aesthetic and its own character. It's got its own everything, which is very niche. In Boca is like you in Boca you get to live in luxury like as you would in some neighborhoods in Miami, without compromising like quiet.
Yes.
And slowness.
Other thing, I don't know if you're familiar with this or if you know about this, but this is 100 years of Boca, 2025.
I knew this.
This is a centennial year for Boca, and we created a special piece to honor it.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
It's down in the display, and let's see. They're starting the celebration from May something onwards. I don't know the date yet, but that's when the celebration starts.
Nice.
So we have been promoting that piece. So
cool.
Yes, Janet.
Sorry to disturb you. Bonita says that I think that you took the keys from the car.
Probably.
She has to go to an appointment or something.
Can you go and drop it? Sorry.
Okay.
So that's, I think that's a big honor, and we've created the space to honor it, and
That's
it has
cool.
come out really very well.
That's cool. And Boca is growing so much.
Oh,
Boca is exploding.
you know what's happening there, right?
Yeah,
My friend.
that's gonna be crazy. And then they have that new building that they've been building for a while, but sometimes it takes a while to build.
There's a hotel coming there.
Mm-hmm. The
Mandarin, yes.
The Mandarin. Yeah.
But this is a big project, and it's
Yeah.
they expect it to be ready in 6 years,
6 years?
because now they're moving this part of the municipal city towards the Brightline station, and then this part they're building another Mysore Park.
Oh, snap. And so, well, that's whoever's doing that, they know something maybe we don't about the growth.
This is the city doing,
Yeah.
because the city doesn't want. It wants to retitle the name, like I would say not retitle, but rebrand it. Not like right now it's a retired community. They want to make it a destination.
Yes. I mean, you think about Boca and like it's like old people, right?
Yeah.
But
now it's no longer the case.
yeah, no, that's already no longer the case. But I think moving forward, it's going to be more like a city, and it's gonna have everything.
It's growing fast.
Yeah,
Growing fast.
that's cool. That's nice.
So, and there's another project coming in Midtown. I don't know if you know, on military. There's another big project coming there. So,
Nice.
a lot of developments, like
That's cool. I want to talk to you about this building.
Uh-huh.
So you built this from scratch, right? You
Right.
had it built. And it took a while, but you did it.
4 years it took.
4 years. First of all, I'm fascinated by the design in this building,
Thank you.
because when you stand outside and you're like, oh, that's a nice building. But when you come in here and you actually look, even outside, when you actually look, there's a lot of cool little things
Right.
everywhere. And I'm like totally fascinated by the building. I don't know if you knew, if I told you this, but I went to architecture school.
Oh, really?
I love architecture. I went to architecture school for 3 years. And I decided architecture maybe wasn't for me, but nothing against architecture itself, but I just didn't want to do architecture.
Right.
But I love architecture. I especially love interior design, and I love like experience. There's no other way. Like design experience is found in any gadget design, right? And it's just like how we interact with it, and like how you interact with the building, and you walk through it, and you grab the handle and you twist it, you know, and the finishes, and how that makes you feel, like the experience of the building. It's like really interesting to me. So
we did mix of cultures here.
Yes, tell me about it.
Western and Eastern. Basically, whole second floor is more Eastern culture, I would say, but the jewelry floor, which is the first floor downstairs, is all Western culture. And it was a challenge for me and Punita both to be making it, and that took a lot of time.
So basically a lot of the time was spent just kind of making decisions?
Making decisions because we wanted to blend the two very well.
Yeah. I mean, when you do these things, once you do it, it's set.
Yeah, it's set. So it took us some time, and of course, COVID was a villain also in the whole thing. But of course, because we were all ready before COVID, but it slowed down everything because of COVID. So almost 1.5 years it was wasted. Although the project was going on, but the work was not happening the way it should have happened in regular circumstances. Right. So that was like a challenge for us.
Okay.
And especially the second floor, we wanted to make a bridal boutique for South Asian brides, especially. Because these days there are so many interracial weddings happening.
Yes.
So now a lot of Western people have also started coming into Indian dressing style. Bollywood parties are going on a lot in town. Every week we have somebody asking us, okay, where do we get this? Where do we get this for the Bollywood part? Like, the theme is Bollywood theme.
Cool.
So that's, and
I have a family member who loves Bollywood movies.
Every family has.
Like, he sends me like clips, like Superman flying, and like they do a dance, and they like, it's like choreography mixed with like action.
He
watches like old movies.
Every Indian movie has around at least 4 to 5 songs, 5 minutes each. Nice. So dancing and music and
it's a
culture. I mean, and in India we have so many different states, and every state has its own culture. So it depends. Bollywood is only Hindi. We have Tollywood, and we have this wood, and like all different areas have different names. And one to another is completely different. It's like Latin and Greek.
Yeah.
There's no similarity between the two. Although they are both called Indians.
Sure.
There's no similarity.
I mean, but geographically is huge.
Yes.
It's like
it's only 1/3 the land of US, you know that, right?
1/3?
1/3 the land of US and 4 times the population of US.
Whoa.
So that tells you everything.
That's a lot, yeah. Well, I mean, kind of get that in the US too. If you think about like culturally, somebody from New York and somebody from Texas and somebody from like here and somebody from LA.
But still, everybody speaks English.
Sure.
Everybody knows hamburgers or hot dogs.
Yeah.
In India, it's not that. From one to another, the language is completely different. I mean, I won't understand a language of that state.
Wow.
The food habits are completely different. The dressing sense is completely different. The house environment is completely different.
Wow. That's drastic.
So it's like another country. It's like Italian, German. There's nothing in common.
Really? It's like that?
It is like that.
Dang. All right, cool.
So it's not that easy as we think.
Indian is my favorite cuisine, and now like I don't even know. Like I had a feeling about this, but now you clarified it for me. I've gone to many Indian restaurants, and the food is drastically different from one to another. Although sometimes the dish is called the same.
Right.
And I've always asked like different people that I've met, and some years ago, a lady told me oh, it's because different states make it different. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But now you're telling me like the cultures are totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I've tasted a dish, like a dish. My favorite dish is dal makhani, right? I don't know if I'm saying it right. So what?
Yeah, that's from north.
Is it?
West and north, I would say.
Okay.
If you go in south, they don't eat dal makhani, they have sambar. It's similar looking, but the lentils are very different. The way it's made is very different.
What's it called?
Sambar.
Samba.
Sambhar.
Okay. So I'll note it.
So, and up north and western where you have dal makhani, you have all these people eating wheat bread.
Okay.
Down south, everything is rice based.
Really?
So it's completely different.
Okay. Wow. Well, I've had the dal makhani in one place, and it's like red, and somehow for me it tastes red. And I've had it somewhere other places where it's more brown, and some places are almost like black, and the taste would be like, well, this is a completely different dish. It is lentils, but like totally different. But totally explains it.
Yeah,
So I have my places that I know to go to, that I know I'm gonna love it.
I need to take you there.
I would love it.
One different place, I don't know if you've gone, but you should go to Deccan Spice.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite. That's not my favorite. That's one of my favorite places.
That is completely different again. If you see, of course they serve the dal makhani also, but their food is very different. So you should try certain things from there.
I've never been there actually.
Oh, really?
No, I only order it.
Oh, you only order it
on the
okay.
app. I order it, and yeah, when I have like friends over, I'm like, hey, who wants Indian? And then I just get a bunch of different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can go together once. I would love to take you.
I'm in. I'm in. It's my favorite cuisine, and one of my other favorite cuisines, which you don't really get to see a lot, is what's it called? Trini.
Okay.
So Trini food has a lot of influence from Indian.
Yeah, more than 60% of population in Trinidad and Tobago are Indian origin.
Yeah.
But they've been moved there since last 3-4 generations. So now they call themselves, but basically they were all taken by the British colonial rule for sugarcane plantation. Mainly.
I love their food. It's so good.
Is it? I've never tasted.
No?
I mean, because I'm vegetarian, so.
Well, it's similar. It's like they have like the doubles, which is like
doubles.
They have a thing called doubles. It's their street food.
Okay.
And it's so delicious. And it's just like chickpeas. It's like curry, and it's made into like this naan.
Okay. It's deep fried, right?
I don't think it's deep fried.
I think so. Now I know.
There's a restaurant, but it's kind of far, and it's out west. I don't like driving out west. And it's really good. I like to go there when I'm by, and I'm like, when I realize that I'm by there, I always stop.
Okay. I think they use a lot of deep fried. Which
it's possible. Yeah.
I think that's why I don't. And again, they have a lot of non-veg and
yeah, they do have like goat and different things like that. Yeah. Same for me. I've been vegetarian for like over 10 years now, and I always kind of stick to it. But that's kind of why I go to. That's why I even tried the Trini food, because I knew that I had Indian like references or influence. So they do have some dishes that are not meat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Can you tell me something about your art? Because still I'm not 100% sure what is pop art.
What is pop art? Well,
what's your specialty? Let's talk about that.
Well, let's talk about pop first, right? And it's interesting. I was just having this conversation, right, with somebody else. Pop, it's not a genre. pop is just what's popular. So in the United States,
Okay, got it.
in the United States, in the 50s, you had like Elvis Presley. That was pop, right? But then you fast forward and you go to like the 60s, 70s, and you have like, and I'm referencing music, right? But most people will understand music. I think we all universally kind of understand music.
Right.
But it's all the same. It's literally all the same. If you look at something like disco, at some point disco became pop because it was just what's popular amongst the people.
Right.
And so pop really, it's not a genre, it just refers to what people are consuming. I think that pop right now is like, in music, is like rap or hip hop, in like any kind of like music that is sampled like from well, pop now, well, let's fast forward. Pop now kind of has an aesthetic, right? So you can almost say, oh, that's pop, but is it going to be pop in 20 years when it's no longer popular?
You don't know that.
So, but the term pop does become popularized. I think I'm not a historian or nothing like that. I just kind of like know a little bit. Andy Warhol. You familiar with Andy Warhol?
What did you say?
Warhol.
Verbal now.
Andy Warhol. He was a painter. He had this painting of Marilyn Monroe where it has like 4 faces. You ever seen that? Different colors?
No.
But that is pop. That's like when somebody refers to pop now, that's kind of like what they are referencing, I think. So I do call my art pop because it has this similar aesthetic in terms of like bright colors, simple shapes, simplified shapes, simplified line work. It's just kind of minimalized into like the essence of the form, and it's bright. That's why I call it pop. But pop really means whatever's popular. Or I guess in visual art, right, on plastic art, pop can refer to like if you draw a celebrity.
Okay.
Most of my art doesn't even have people in it. I did this piece with the Marilyn, and I would say that is the closest thing that I have that is actually really pop, because there's a celebrity, it has the aesthetic, and it checks a lot of these pop boxes.
I would love to learn more about the pop boxes, because I'm trying to see how can that be converted into wearable art.
Into wearable
art, which is jewelry, of course.
Yeah. I think very simple, actually. I think that it's bright. I think that it's going to. Another thing about pop, I believe that it always has like a feel good messaging.
Okay.
So
vibrant, you mean to say?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's what I like, vibrant also. So I'm trying to create pieces of wearable art, but pop art. I'm trying to see how can we.
But if you really think about it, like pop,
I would use gemstones. A lot of vibrant gemstones.
I can give you some different, not some, but like there's a couple of artists. There's an artist called Brito. Yeah, you probably have seen his sculptures and.
Yes, I've heard about him, but I cannot identify.
So he's actually alive, and he's working. I'm not a huge fan of Brito, but he has done something incredibly remarkable. Okay. And he has his own aesthetic. I think presently he is the most copied artist.
Really?
Yeah, I believe so. He draws like this very. His work has these like very bright and doodle looking bears and celebrities. He's very, very pop, and he started a movement called like the happy art movement, I think they call it.
Happy art.
Yeah, where his subject matter is happiness, right?
Right.
A lot of if you look at art and like big artists,
It's happiness is equal to any kind of art. People want to be happy when they see art.
sure.
Whether it's jewelry or painting or sculpture or
Yeah,
it has to give that the energy of being happy.
I agree.
Otherwise, it doesn't make.
Yeah, but I do think that most artists artists. So like the artists like, their subject matter is depression and things that I myself don't really align with, and they consider a lighter subject matter, or a bad art because it's not political or whatever.
Right.
But that's like amongst artists, right? I think that one thing I realized is like, who cares what artists think, right?
The art should speak for itself, not the artist.
Through and through. Yeah.
By the way, you don't look nice without your pearl necklace.
Oh, I know. I took it off to clean it, and then
I was wondering something isn't right today. And now I know, because now I noticed while talking with you, looking at you, I said something is missing, and now I know what it was.
Yeah. Well, also I haven't shaved. I've just been, like I told you, I've been like a hermit working on my collection.
That's all. But
Besides
the necklace,
I agree.
makes a difference, because I've always seen you
with it. I
it.
never take it off. I told you I never take it off.
So,
but since you told me, oh, you should take it off because like
before showering, of course you should.
So I took it off. I'm like, man, this thing is dirty. I need to clean it.
Because I've never seen you without the necklace. It's the first time I'm seeing.
Okay, well.
So now I know why. why was I so in my mind something was not adding up,
Yeah, something wasn't clicking.
So
okay. Yeah, so to go back to the art subject, I don't even know why I'm using I know why I'm using the term pop to classify myself. I feel like I have to kind of put something in a box so that it's indexable, so that it's searchable, you can find it, whatever. But I think like I don't actually know where to place my work. One thing that I did is that I stopped looking at art. I have not formally gone to look at art.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a very good thing, because that only the original ideas come into picture. Because people who buy or appreciate your art, they want to see your art, not what you've reproduced from somebody else.
I agree. That was my thinking. And so I stopped looking at art, and that's when my art literally just, I already have knowledge of art. I don't need to look at more.
Right.
I kind of know what I want to say, and when I stand in front of it and I start making it, it just kind of comes out.
People want to see your creativity,
exactly. Not somebody else.
Not somebody else's twisted,
Agree.
I agree with you 100% there, and I'm glad you took that step.
Yeah, it just kind of like made sense. Something clicked for me. No one told me to do it. It was just like, I'm just gonna stop looking at art. I don't want to have references, and I still have references. Like you can't not look at art.
Yes.
Right.
But to implement, take the idea from there and then implement, because I do that a lot.
Yes.
To be very frank, because all my jewelry pieces are old royal pieces, which I make for today's. Yeah, absolutely, I design all the pieces, and right from scratch. But I take some inspiration from old paintings where we see royal families wearing different kinds of jewelry.
That's so cool.
So a lot of my pieces will reflect that. No question.
And what would you say your creative style is? Like, where would you, what would you call it?
My creative style, I would say, royalty. Royal pieces, royal combination of colors. That's where I.
Royalty. So almost like, are you familiar with the?
I don't like too much modern pieces. No, that's not me. I like to use gemstones, the color of gemstones, and the simplicity form to enhance that color. Normally, when you see jewelry, people use a lot of metal, like gold or silver or platinum or something. I don't do that. I try to reduce that as much as possible, so you have the natural beauty of the gemstone. Because normally what happens in gold should be just an element to hold the piece of art. Like it should be a frame, not the art itself.
Okay.
I
follow you. I'm right there with you.
So a lot of jewelers, they just make jewelry left and right out of gold, which are all machine made pieces. My pieces are completely handmade in my own workshop.
That's great.
Cool. So that's the best analogy I could give you is art and frame is gold and gemstones.
Yes.
So,
which is another thing, I think we talk about this one of our meetings. It was like I put that together and I was like art and frame. But I'm like, no. The frame is the art. It's part of the experience. We're talking about experience, right? And so like the frame is the art. And I know this because I've seen good pieces in, I don't want to say bad frames, because there's no such thing, but in a frame that didn't match,
right,
and it's bad.
It destroys it.
So the frame and the art, I thought about these two separate. Are thought of as these two separate things, but they are not.
No,
the frame.
They're framed together. That's why it's called framed.
Yes,
but like in your case, the painting has to be the main focus, not the frame. In my case, gemstones have to be focused. The design perspective on the gemstone, around the gemstone has to be focused. Using the combination of colors should be the focus, not the gold that is holding them. Or the platinum or the silver.
I'd be interested in reversing things. I like reversing things. It's one of my favorite things because you get like this really unexpected and very like, where did this come from?
Right.
Reactions where you just flip it. So like a big frame, thick, just so expressive with carvings, and then got a tiny piece of art like this, just around this whole thing. And you just, if you want to see it, you got to come all the way up to it and see the thing. Or if you want to experience I have this idea. I have a 7-foot frame in my house that I'm literally contemplating just putting a little piece of art like this on it.
Really?
I just kind of like, I'm interested in just like, that's why I started looking at art. I just want to, what can I do?
It has to be something very vibrant.
Interesting.
That's like a solitaire stone. That's like a solitaire gemstone. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Although it's small, but that you want that to be the focus of the piece, not the frame.
Yeah.
But I like the idea. We should try that. You should do with the Ganesha. The Ganesha. Tell me something about that. What you're doing about Ganesha?
So, like I told you, I'm doing a modular piece. So, we had our first meeting, and I saw the sculpture you have, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." I've been working on a series of religious imagery, right? I've been working on it for about a year, and it's like 4 or 5 paintings right now, but it's all been Western religion.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, I need to start expanding these visuals, right? So as soon as I saw it, I was like, poof, I'm doing that. So I started sketching, and you know, it has all the hands. And we had a conversation where you kind of mentioned something about like the more hands it has, like something you said. I can't remember exactly what you said.
No, I said that we're making that sculpture.
Yes, you said
that last piece is coming for the flagship, which is being shipped this week or next week, and that's a 25 head Ganesha statue with 50 hands.
That's crazy. So
it took 2.5 years to carve that.
To carve it?
One person.
Wow.
From single piece of wood.
Wow.
9 feet by 7-8 feet, something like that.
Wow.
It's going to be a challenge how to bring it in.
So do they break it up in pieces?
No, it's one piece. You can't break it.
I mean, sometimes they, and then glue it back together.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of like...
Especially God related, like Ganesha related, no way. Yeah, the base is separate, where the whole statue goes. But the Ganesha, it's one piece.
Wow.
You can't have two pieces.
So I started sketching. I have my own particular style, right? My real style, I'll grab a piece of paper like this, pen, and I'll go. Like literally has to be, if it's not done in 30 seconds, then why am I doing it, right? And then I think that's why am I doing it is not the right phrase, but like done in 30 seconds has a very, like, there's some very specific qualities to it.
Immediate, I think. I agree with you 100%. Sometimes, why I relate to those kind of things. Sometimes we cut a gemstone or buy a parcel of gemstones, particular kind, and for 1.5 years I don't know what to do with it. But I know I'm going to create something exceptional out of it.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, one fine day, within 30 minutes,
it's there.
It just clicks.
So
that's why I can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing a bunch of times. So instead of spending 3 hours in developing one sketch, or 1 hour, let's just say 1 hour developing one sketch, I'll spend 1 hour developing 50, 100. However,
just the sketching part of it.
Just the sketching part. Once I have that, when one sketch is going to give you that feeling, that, wow, that's it. I will try to recreate it with the mistakes and everything. Where my hand...
Yeah, things change, things evolve, but the basic idea...
Yeah, exactly.
Should not be...
So that takes me a long... Because I have to go, and wherever my pencil went like that, I will recreate it now in a piece, in a final piece. I would recreate that feeling right there. And sometimes I'm like, well, I didn't mean to do this, and I don't think this adds to it, and I'll take it away. Right. Or while I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, what if it had this? So it never is the same, but that's kind of how I work. So it takes me 30 seconds to come up with the idea, or it takes me a long time. The idea is 30 seconds worth of sketching. Once I put all my sketches out, I'm like, okay, this is the one. I put it next to my piece that I'm working on. I recreate it big, and that can take me, I don't know, a month, a week, 2 days, 4 days.
Depends on how it unfolds, I think.
Yeah.
But the basic sketch, the idea, you put it on the paper right away.
Yeah. And then I decide materials. What are the materials? What are the colors? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I do it a little bit different when I buy the gemstones or cut the gemstone. What I do is, based on that, I keep the gemstone in mind, and then I create something around it.
Yeah.
Like how you have the sketch.
Gemstone, yeah.
Yeah, so. Because we have to go with gemstones are natural, right? They are not man-made or anything. So we have to work with what's available, what's there.
It's a creative limitation. Which these things are good. You're limited by the shape of the gemstone, the color of it.
Color of gemstone.
And so you have to create around that.
Around it.
Around those parameters.
So,
yeah, totally. That makes sense. All right. How long have we been here?
So I don't know. Oh, it's 2:15 already.
Okay. Just because we have to mention it, just to wrap up, we have the art show coming up
On Saturday. March 22nd. And I'm looking forward to it.
Super excited.
Me too.
Yeah. This is gonna be. I feel like
One of its kind. Let's see how it unfolds.
Exactly.
But really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that are super excited about it too. That are just looking forward to see what's in here, what are we doing, you know.
Right.
So that's gonna be really great.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, totally.
Let's talk again.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. So that was good. Natural conversation. We didn't really need to do, any script.
I like when you said